digging at the Unseen University Library, finding an arcane photocopier, making more copies of the map, so now everyone has a little edge when it comes to traversing the Under Ankh. You made your plans into the night after a little chat with Modo, learning a little bit more about the dungeon underneath the Unseen University and its entrance near the Gaim.
Yeah, that's a thing.
You headed out into the city.
Learning that Modo's a god.
Some of you disguised, others birds flying high.
Always has been.
You were attacked by a dragon, but not specifically, more of a splatter attack. You were able to avoid detection by the guards through some nifty work with Animate Object and also the Decanter of Endless Water.
True.
You made your way past that to the Assassin's Guild, met with Lord Downey. There was a little bit of upsetness.
No, it was fine. It was fine.
With,
no, it's fine.
Yep.
No, it was fine.
Talking a little
too candidly
about who may be in power right now in the city.
Yeah.
But even with that, with your past history with Lord Downey, he still offered you the ability to meet with Dagon, King of Arms, who is the person that they use to verify all contracts.
Yes.
You were told that he would not be there until later in the afternoon.
And so I'm just hanging out.
You're just hanging out, Aldashar sitting there working on a beautiful piece of art of the dragon attacking the city itself.
Yes.
Outside, Avelios chatting it up with the drunkard sitting on the bench outside.
The doorman.
Yes. Having some good conversations, more fluff than anything really
substantial.
Exactly. Rain made his way out, and I believe we were saying got convinced to go back into the Assassin's Guild.
Yeah, I need to go talk to somebody about possibly getting a temporary pass for my boy here.
Velios, yes.
Yeah.
And also...
So there was the idea...
Yeah.
Well, there was the other idea of talking to somebody about the safety deposit box.
Yeah, that's the salvage rates.
But I don't have the key.
Yeah,
so that would be kind of a moot point at the moment.
Well, we could figure out. I think our priority is probably the first one. The
talking to the dude,
contract dude.
Yeah.
Well, he can probably answer the same, like at the same time.
We can at least ask him.
I was gonna say he probably knows the answer to that.
Fuck him, that's not
and Aldashar is currently trapped.
No, Aldashar.
He can leave, but he can't. Yeah.
Yes, but Aldashar does currently have the key to your room at the Unseen University.
Correct. That is true.
Wasp
you can leave.
Took the time to change into a harpy eagle and made your way towards the shades where you saw large areas were still on fire and there was no official help. It was just local people working on putting out the fire, saving people. Landing amidst all of this chaos, Wasp took the time to actually help out some people, save some people from a burning building. And I did forget, Avelios also saved 2 lives with the Decanter of Endless Water during the initial attack. After Wasp successfully saved a lot of people. We said you saved a square block worth of, structures, and that's where you are for a while. But at the end of this, covered in soot, burned, sweaty, some cuts and scrapes from just diving into everything, Wasp turns around to see 3 Khajiit. At their hips, you see cut collars that hang from their hips, almost as trophies, and one of them has like 4 or 5 on their hip. Looks like they've been, but they're also marked. Yes, they're also marked with a outline of a boar's skull and 3 feathers on painted onto their chest, and they have pledged themselves as followers of Wasp to free the slaves. Meanwhile,
seems like a pretty good start of an uprising, if you ask me.
Zaros After making sure your friends were able to get into the Assassin's Guild from a distance, shakily making your way towards the house, can you please roll me a performance check
Yes.
for walking through the city as a drunk?
Can I ask you a question beforehand?
Yeah.
Just trying to remember timeline of last time.
Yeah.
I was with them when the fire part happened, right?
you were.
Okay. So this is happening while they were in the Assassin's Guild,
Correct.
not while the fire
Yep.
part was happening. Thank you.
Okay.
You said performance?
Yes, please.
Alright, so it's
As you see, there are a fair amount of guards in the area walking around.
29.
And a couple times you get pushed out of the way.
I drunkenly shout after them.
Yeah, and there's like a couple other guards interact with you a little bit more. One even like flips you a copper piece and go get loaded, you fucker.
You do calling myself.
A couple citizens actually, like one spits on you, but they have a little nicer clothing, so you do clock them.
I grin and bear it and memorize their faces.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm that good at that, but
You make your way into the neighborhood. You clearly see, at least on the outside from the main street, doesn't seem to be any guards patrolling your house looking.
Okay.
You do see just some normal people walking by. Seems to be just a afternoon here. This is far enough away where the dragon did not attack this area.
So I would like to go down the alleyway and go along the back. I believe there's like an alley that goes by our back entrance.
Yes.
And I want to walk like a circle of the block and see if one, if anyone's following me, and two, if I see anyone watching.
Yeah. Roll a perception check as you.
25.
25. Make your way over to the alley, and you do see Tabby's door is closed. The shades are drawn. You're not sure if there's any.
Is that typical for me or for her? Or
You've only been there
Or
like
them,
a
yeah,
day
them.
or two. You're not quite sure, but it definitely looks like the house is at least
Okay.
closed. You're not sure if anyone's inside. Outside of the house, you see a couple people walking by. You even do like a little meandering, and you don't see anyone coming from behind you, clocking you. As you pass the door, you do see that it is slightly. You know how you can like close a door, but it's
not latched?
Yes, there's like a larger gap than you were expecting as you walk past the door.
Is that of our house?
Yes,
Or, okay.
the back side door.
Yeah, of our house.
Yes.
Okay.
In the middle of our street.
This is in the alleyway.
Love that.
I would like to cast clairvoyance and place an invisible sensor in the middle of the first floor of the house.
Okay.
So mark down clairvoyance.
Use that.
While you're looking, I'll just read the spell. You create an invisible sensor within range in a location familiar to you, a place you have visited or seen before, in an obvious location, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It remains in place for the duration, which is 10 minutes, no? Casting time is 10 minutes, duration is also 10 minutes. Okay, as an action, I can switch between seeing and hearing, so I'm going to use seeing first
Okay.
to see if I see anything inside.
All right. Roll me a perception check. And where are you placing it?
Oh my god.
I would place it basically right here, so I can
Okay.
see if these doors are open. So that's another 29.
29. You do see that the study door is open, and there is a light on in there. You cannot see physically through any of the windows, but you know that they are magically.
Okay. I would like to use my action to change to listening
Okay.
to see if I can hear anyone rummaging or doing anything correctly. Perception again?
Yep.
25.
You hear this like
16, 19.
you hear a. You just hear this repeated sound. It's kind of. It's not completely steady. It changes every now and then, and like the tone of it changes a little bit.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna. Is there anywhere in the back that I can? Oh, it's right I don't see outside here at all. Am I able to be obscured anywhere back here? Like even if I just go slightly down the alley, I'm not right outside the back door.
Yeah. The alley continues this way. This is another house here. This is not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not like the end house.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'll stand like kind of over here.
Okay.
I'm still looking like drunk dude. I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna use prestidigitation to open the door.
Okay.
Yeah, in a loud way.
All right. Yeah.
And I'll just wait a few seconds.
You waggle your fingers drunkenly, and then you hear the whack.
Can I choose to keep the sensor up then, because I don't have to for prestidigitation?
Yeah.
I was gonna cast invisibility, but I didn't.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You. The door slams open. Are you still listening through that? You
Having
get that
change it.
kind of hurting your ear. It's so loud inside of the house, and you hear the sound stop for a second, and then you hear.
Is the I hear? Is it a verbal Okay. I really just want to go in. They're in the study. Do I actually have a window here?
No, that's another building.
Okay.
This is this is just
Okay. So this would be outside.
Yes.
Okay. So there's a window there.
Yes.
Don't I have a whistle or something for Kid Kurt? It's my messenger boy. Because I didn't just walk out the back door and yell Kid Kurt.
No, that's true. Sure, we'll say
Let me
you
check
set up a whippoorwill. You make the sound of a dying giraffe.
Okay.
Oh, merry orphans.
Yeah, I just have how much I paid them. I don't have the... But, okay. So I would just like to do that from the same spot without moving closer to the house.
Okay, yeah. Roll me a performance check.
30.
You make the perfect sound of a dying giraffe. Exactly as you
Yes.
set up.
Hell yeah. I'm moving that down.
And you're still listening.
I like the image of a drunk guy just laying there.
You're still listening.
Like, God, no!
You hear, don't you like, and the sound comes back.
Greater invisibility only lasts
Just let the
around
man fight in
November,
peace,
right?
Chief.
Greater invisibility is only
The
around?
greater invisibility, I think, is for combat, because you can get...
No, it's a minute.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. It's a minute.
Then we're going to do that. Oh, it's 1 minute. I think normal invisibility is like an
Hour.
hour or something
Yeah.
like that.
That's what I use.
Okay, cool. Yeah, fuck that. Greater I'll drop the sensor now.
All right.
Greater invisibility.
All right.
Since the door's open now, I don't have to walk in.
You look around, make sure no one's watching, you hope, and poof, you go invisible. Are you stealthing in or walking in?
How does this work exactly?
I was about to say, do you get a bonus to stealth?
I don't know. We'll make a stealth check. It doesn't say I get a bonus to stealth, but I imagine
No, I think
you're harder to
roll
perceive.
advantage. For stealth checks.
You and a creature or a creature control become invisible for the spell's end. So you're just
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get
it's,
advantage.
Pathfinder gives you like a static like plus 20 or something like that. But it just we're gonna roll it as advantage.
Yeah, you get
Okay,
advantage.
sure. That good thing I had advantage. A 2 and a 16.
Okay.
So a stealth check is plus 5. 21.
All right,
Closest I've been around.
you start walking, and as you get to the front, you look down, and there's a bottle right there. You're just about to step on it, and you catch yourself.
Bottle, I would never harm you.
You check if it's empty or full.
Oh, it's empty.
Give it the visual pat.
You tiptoe into the house, and you still hear the sound, and it's getting louder.
I avoid that squeaky board that's in the dining room that I know about.
Absolutely.
So every time
Yep.
I'm trying to get a midnight snack.
right around it. Tiptoe in. The study is open, and you see a light, and now you see a shadow, and it looks like something is flying up and then coming back down, but it's like a big blob because of the light angle. And you peer in through the door, and you see this around probably like 13 to 15, it's hard to tell, because of the hardness of the life that this individual has lived. A young boy, dirty blonde hair, but definitely more put together and a little cleaner than a lot of the other kids you've seen in this area. And you see the sound, you instantly see what the sound was coming from. He has this patchwork, different colored hand stitch football, soccer. And he's just kicking it, doing, behind the back, over the head. And as you sneak in, he turns at you. You the wanker that is calling for him?
That'd be me.
That's right. Oh, you're one of them magic users.
Would appear so. And you are in my house because...
Because you and your friends have gotten some of the kids embroiled in all the goings on here, and I'm here to hold you accountable and make sure you get them back.
Where'd they go?
I went looking for you. You're trying to save the slaves? Well, bloody good for you. You should have been doing it, not making child labor do your dirty business of finding where all their secrets are.
I don't think we ever talked to the children about that.
Yeah, you had asked Kid Kurt to look into...
That was the plan to do.
This was...
Or did we do this like 3 years ago?
Yeah, this was a long time ago.
Uh-oh.
Well, it seems that Kid Kurt and a couple of his friends, they may have found where this was, and now they're gone.
Gone where?
Good question. That's what you're gonna find out, Mr. Magic. And you look down, and you're still invisible.
I'll just drop it, honestly, at that point. That way I can just... on something else that I need to... Yeah. I don't feel the need to, make this combative. Say, how did you find out they disappeared?
I know everything that goes on here.
Then you know where they went, and you're not telling me.
I know what alley they went down last.
Great.
And
that would be
that's
more
it.
helpful than what you gave me before.
Right. You're a wise one, aren't you? Got the law under you, dear? I see through you, horny.
No one's called me that in a long time.
I'm sure. Look like a cold fish. Right. We gonna go save these kids.
Don't like
or what?
tieflings, do you?
Oh, I don't give a crap. I just want to make sure these kids are safe.
I just don't know why you're being so combative. I paid these kids more than a month's salary to help do some work for me.
Listen, just because you pay the child doesn't make it right to make a child work for you.
I didn't make anybody work for me. I offered them money.
You think those kids could have said no to even a copper if you offered it to them?
I think they could have, because we already gave them month's salary. But I'm glad they did work for me.
Streets work, my
I don't.
naive little taily boy.
No one's called me that in a long time.
Well, I figured, right, you ready to go launch this rescue mission?
Oh, I don't have, there's no... Are there watches in this world?
Most people, it would be like the disorganizer.
I don't have
For
I can't pretend to check a disorganizer if I don't have a disorganizer.
Check the sundial on yours.
Yeah. Well, I need to go outside and use my sundial watch. Hold on. So what alley was it?
I'll show you. And he goes into explain, because I don't have the alley name.
Sure, yeah.
He goes into explain it's more south towards the shades.
Are
but
we
not-
staying in the house in the conversation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you guys are still in the study. In this
Okay.
entire conversation, he's still been kicking the ball.
Okay. I am diligently noting
Yes.
down everything he says,
And
just
he
in case
gives
I
you-
forget.
He gives you clear enough direction where you feel confident that you can get there. He's very confused on what happened after that. Like no one's seen the kids after that.
So it
and
doesn't feel like he's withholding information.
roll an insight check if you want.
Yeah, I would like to. What's that? I don't know. What's something?
Kaz hasn't given you a name.
27. It's a 17.
He seems like
I'm
he's
not changing
holding
dice.
back a lot of information, but
Yeah.
not about the kids.
Okay.
He seems very concerned while still being an asshole.
I mean, yeah, I am too. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Did he give me details about when They went missing.
Within a couple days after you guys.
Okay, so it's not like dragon attack and they went missing.
No, and since then, you do get some information. Since then, at least 2 other kids have gone missing in the area.
Mm.
And
also, some of the gang that worked for me?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there is one kid gang in this area. They control this area.
Gotcha.
So
Hell
a
yeah,
couple
go
more
kids.
kids have gone missing. And it just ain't right. And I want to make sure these kids, especially Kid Kurt, I mean, the kid's got a great name. Can't let a name like that go to waste.
He does.
Imagine how boring that would be on a little stone somewhere. And the only way it would get there is if I put it there, because they ain't got no one.
Oh, it sounds like they have you.
I mean,
Want to explain a little bit more about this?
someone with nothing will look up to someone with something. And I'll tell you what I got. And he does this really crazy... Actually, let's go for it.
Can you imagine if Kid Kurt became a rapper?
I thought, very briefly,
Kid-
thought this was Kid Kurt future.
So this is definitely like gotta be orphans, right?
He kicks the ball up, and you see him do this like front flip where he puts his hands down and kicks it over his head. And you see what he's aiming for is like above a bookshelf wall, but he slightly messes it up, and it hits a very nice bust that was on the top shelf instead. But it still bounces correctly back to him as he flips up, catches it on his head, and you both watch whoosh, the bust break.
It was the one bust that Aldershire had of his old boat.
Yes.
Am I quick enough to mage hand and catch it?
Roll a... Let's see. Roll
Slide in.
roll a spell attack.
23.
23. It falls.
Oh my god.
I have
Yeah.
Bards get the bonus proficiency, so they get plus half their
yes.
bonus to things that aren't their class skills.
Right.
And we have literally been hitting the ones that are green.
Right, yeah.
You manage to just throw the hand out, and as it kind of tips and rolls and manages to hold it. Yeah.
And I'll just put it back up on the shelf. Just like not breaking eye contact with them.
Not quite what I had in mind, but good trick yourself there.
I don't know whose that is, so it could have been expensive.
It's not mine.
It's not mine.
This bowl's mine. That's about it.
Over in the Assassin Guild, Aldershire's like,
I feel a disturbance in the force.
My ancestors just died.
Why
They're
does it
sealed in that
panic?
shit.
Why does it panic for a second?
Right, look.
Sneeze.
A lot of shit's been going on. There's dragons. There's slavery. There's
So they went.
unrest in the guilds. There's this fuckhead Lord Bust in his face who's taking charge. A lot going on, and I'm worried about these kids.
Right.
So, you ready to help or what?
I am.
Right.
Quite ready. I'm trying to think of any other useful information I can get out of this guy. Are you gonna help me?
Well, of course, but I don't know what I can do. I got my soccer ball.
Kick it at someone if it gets shitty.
Right.
That's all I got.
You look like you can handle yourself, right?
It's still alive somehow.
All right. Well, let's go. Yeah, he seems very disinterested, but still
Worried for these children.
Exactly. And as he just walks
Me,
right by you.
him, yes.
And
has he
he
got a name yet?
No.
Nope.
He wouldn't give it to
How
me.
old is he?
You didn't ask him.
Huh?
You didn't.
I asked him what he called himself. I think
Oh,
he did.
I missed that.
Oh.
We'll check that in the
Yeah.
recording.
Mark, in the future, tell me if I fucked up.
Yep. Or tell me if I fucked up. He
I think I
does
just
give
told him to tell me
you.
about himself.
Gotcha,
That's what I asked
yeah.
specifically for
He does. You ask as he walks by, kicking the ball. Trevor Likely.
Likely.
Mm-hmm.
Likely story.
Exactly. Everything I say is a likely story.
But
He's a god, definitely.
Not every being we meet is.
not every being
no.
we meet is not a deity.
I was
I
about
mean,
to
you can
say.
see through greater invisibility.
Casually.
Or he just has a really good
Could be a
perception.
dragon.
Trevor.
What's
Up
So
there,
he
but
is
that's
going-
like everything he says is
If
a
you will
story.
follow him, he will lead you.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are making your way through the city. We will come back to you.
Sure.
Rain,
Uh-huh.
you and Avelios. Let's just You guys have the conversation. You know what you want to ask or try to ask.
There, I made a list.
Because at the
Pretty much
end,
just the first one for now, I think.
Who am I talking to right now?
I don't know.
You're going into the guild.
Oh, okay. So I guess I'm going back in. Yeah. I'm going. So when I go back into the building, is there like a person that I can talk to?
I'm actually going to write this list and hand it to Rain because I know how distracted he gets.
Sure.
alright, so let me just make a note, heads back. And so the door's closed.
Yep.
It's not open. You even just not even thinking try, it is definitely locked.
Yeah.
You knock on the door. There's a brief pregnant pause, and then the door whisper quietly opens, and you see that same tiefling with the white or black horns, very pale white skin, black eyes, the tuxedo, the horns turning into a bow tie. Yes.
I have a couple questions. One of which was since I'm like an honorary member here.
Yes.
Would there be a way that I could get my boy Avelios in on this temporary membership / day pass?
I apologize, but Lord Downey has already told your troop that is not in the books at the moment.
Ah, okay. It was worth a shot, worth asking. So then there's. That's not.
The other two, I think we were going to have.
Would you like to speak with one of our clerks? They may be able to give you a little more information than Lord Downey's butler. He kind of raises an eyebrow like, bro, I'm a butler.
That'd be great. Thank you, my good man.
Very good. This way, sir. And he turns and moves back into that labyrinth of hallways. You follow close behind the door. You don't even hear it. It's just all of a sudden there's no more light
Just
from outside.
click.
Yep. Really, most of what you've seen has been like paneled walls, more,
Nailed it.
like not officey, like more home style. Like
Sure.
there's nice furniture.
Yeah, that's
He's-
kind of what I was
Yeah.
envisioning.
He turns and then all of a sudden it's like gray painted walls.
Corporate section.
Yes, exactly. Like
yeah.
you see some people, they've got folders, they're looking a little disheveled. You
Yeah.
hear like someone kind of in a raised voice like, well, I told him I need it in triplicate. Here, gave it to me in quadruplicate. What am I supposed to do with this extra copy?
I just shake my head and just like, I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, and he brings you to like, it is totally a little like reception desk, and
Yeah.
there's a small halfling woman
Okay.
sitting there, pretty thin, like blondish hair. She looks very run down.
Sure.
But very nice painted nails.
Oh, okay.
No.
Can I help you? Yes. Sir has some questions about the guild. Fine. What could I do for you?
Those nails are definitely poison.
What would go into getting an acquaintance of mine temporary membership?
Oh, you with that new group that
Probably.
took care of the lunchtime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tea time. Tea time.
She like turns and you see like her chair, because she's so short, but she's
Yeah.
sitting like up. It actually has like a whole series of levers. As she kind of like clicks and pulls, it goes up and spins, and like a hole opens in the floor, and a file cabinet comes flying out.
I'll just
And-
like lean over. I'm just like, damn, where can I get one of those?
Yeah, and she pulls a filing and pulls out a. Oh yes, your group got a special dispensation due to your nepotistic connections with Lady Sybil, and I believe that karma has already run out and would not be able to extend to another individual. So they would actually have to apply to become a full member, which involves several years of schooling, some tests, and general survivorship during all of that.
Don't die.
Yes.
Okay.
Although we
So-
do have some that have died, but still made it through the course and or some of our undead legion.
Oh, yeah, I've been seeing. They've been advocating for more rights recently.
Yes, that would hurt our bottom line, we'll say that. And currently they don't get paid
you have to pay your
much.
slaves.
Okay, I'll let him know. I think he's making do right now. He's sitting down having some tea, some cookies, I'm sure.
Yeah, he should be mostly safe out there.
Mostly.
Of course.
I mean, with the given situation about what's happening in the city.
Well,
right
yes,
now.
and the fact that there are hundreds of trained assassins within feet of this building at any time, and
I would imagine that this would be one of the most safest places in the city.
for the yes and no, assassins are not allowed to in-hume anyone without a contract, but there are rogue agents who do tend to attack assassins out of principle or being hired, so it can be a little dodgy at times.
Literally.
Yes, uncannily even. Mechanical joke there. So, yes, was that all your questions?
I did have another question. If I were to have come into possession of a key to a safety deposit box, how would I go about using that?
She gives you this weird look like, I mean, you have a safety deposit box key and you're asking the clerk at the Assassin Guild what to do with it?
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Uh-huh.
how did you come in possession of this said key?
I found it.
Roll a deception.
Remember,
It's
not a lie! It's not a deception!
Roll a persuasion then.
Okay.
What is persuading her on?
That he found it.
Is he did fight?
Well, remember where you are. You're not at the Thieves Guild.
19.
Right,
I'm just gonna lean on the desk. I'm just like smiling.
I'm going to hold on. Lever.
You seriously gotta give me
Slides
something
down
about
out
this
of
chair.
out of sight, just completely out of sight, and there's just a hole in the floor. Meanwhile, the butler has just been standing there, staring off at the middle
Puddling.
distance.
I'll just lean at him. I'm
Buttering.
just like, dude, how did you get it to like make a bow tie? That's so cool.
It's a family heirloom. As you're pondering this, the chair.
Like, how does that work?
The chair comes flying up, and she has
It's
this
actually a hat.
massive book and slams it down onto the table and starts going through it. She's giving you the side eye.
Is there any like
If an
gadgets or anything on her
assassin
desk?
in the current line of their work comes into possession of any of the inhumed possessions, we should probably work on that verbiage.
It's all over redundant.
Well, yes, you don't want to use the same word in the... Anyway,
I get it.
might hire a lawyer.
I was about to say lawyer language.
it would only be considered theft should there be living relatives or rightful owners of said possession.
I'm the right.
Now, I'm going to go out on a limb, very short limb. I'm still holding the trunk.
We're hanging on the limb.
That you got that key around lunchtime. It wasn't dinner time, it was probably lunchtime, and she winks. Now, I happen to know that individual made sure they had no living relatives.
That's right.
Or friends.
If that were the case, it's
So,
convenient.
still on the limb, holding on to the tree.
Yep. Wrong
Had
edge.
you found
Glory.
that key around lunchtime,
Uh-huh.
you would be perfectly legally able to keep it.
Thank you very
Now,
much.
as for when
Not
to
saying
use
that
it,
this is exactly the circumstance
oh no,
we're talking about.
look at the tree limb.
But, yeah, the
It's
tree
so
limb.
long.
I'm so far from the drum.
Does she have any like gadgets or anything on her desk that I can mess with?
There it is just paper. Piles of paper. Reams of paper.
It's my new favorite character.
It's just covered in paper.
I'm just
Well, you
looking at her
can
desk and just like, this is boring.
Play some of this woman's name is Gloria.
Huh?
Play some of this woman's name is Gloria.
Now, as for the usage of the key,
Uh-huh.
you would probably want to speak to a person at a bank.
Okay.
They're called bank tellers.
Triggered.
Interesting.
They usually can help with bank-related things.
Amazing.
You also may
Okay.
want to look at the key and see if there is a mark on it.
Oh, okay.
For the bank, it was.
Does she have any like
connected
pens or
to-
pencils?
There are pencils, or not pencils. There are. There's ink. There's an inkwell and some quills.
Okay, amazing. Okay. I'm just gonna take one of the inkwells. I'm just like, do you have any like blank sheets of paper?
Yes.
Can you
Jump in real quick.
Yes.
You still have the note that I gave you.
Uh-huh.
Right. You flip it over.
Oh, I mean, I could do that.
Hold on.
But I
He
mean,
wants to annoy Gloria.
never annoy the lady.
You see the chair like turns and almost does like the cartoon like bend. Like.
So I'll just look at her very seriously. I'm just like,
Oh no, she's gone.
she's gone?
Yeah.
No, before she leaves.
Okay, you asked for paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so
She's gonna get the paper.
she's gonna go get the paper.
Yes, the chair like vroom, and she like barely moves.
Okay.
And comes back within like 10 seconds.
While she's gone, I'm
Yes.
gonna take all of her pencils.
There's no
pencils.
She said that.
Roll.
No, he says that there's
Quills.
inkwell and quills.
Okay.
You go to take the pencils and you hear, Sir, we do not steal in the Assassin's Guild.
It's better than a Thieves Guild.
I'll put it back.
Thank you, sir. Back to the middle distance.
Back to no distance.
Just like just because you said so.
And as you're saying that, vroom, bang, she has like a good like 30 sheets of paper, puts them down. How many do you need?
Just one.
All right. She takes one, hands it to you.
Thank you.
Yes. BANK.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I got that part.
She was telling you.
Now tell me, where did you get that chair?
This, it was created by the Tinkerers Guild for the Assassin's Guild's use.
Okay. Where's the Tinkerers Guild at?
You should probably go and talk to someone not here for your inquiry.
You're so much fun to talk to. What's your name, by the way?
Dory.
Dory. Oh, well, Dory, thank you so much for helping me out with all of this. And while I'm reaching, I'm gonna accidentally knock over her ink.
Are you trying to make it look like an accident?
Yes.
Roll sleight of hand.
Dear God. Why are you trying to get stabbed?
And now we know why the squares are out.
Dory actually is a 20th level barbarian.
15.
15.
Dory's actually a 20th level barbarian.
It's you go to like shake her hand
Yep.
and you hit the
Inkwell.
inkwell
Yeah.
and you watch it fall and you see it start to spill
Uh-huh.
and it's just like everything is in slow motion and she's like and you're like
No, I'm gonna be like shocked.
and yeah
Who I would
your
never.
hands are going up to hide your smirk, and as you do, you see this hand shoot out faster than you could imagine, and you see it's the butler grabs it,
Yep.
not fast enough to completely save the paperwork,
Yep.
but manages to catch the jar and only splatters on some of it.
Some of the stuff.
Out
I am
now!
so sorry.
Out now, or the next contract is on your head now!
All right. Dory, thank you so much for your time. And I'll just look at you and just like, that was good. To the butler.
He looks at you. Sir, follow me.
After you.
Puts the jar down.
This is how you get kicked out of
The rest of us are gonna have no idea why they hate us now.
He starts walking, and you see he doesn't. Before he was ahead of you, and now it's more.
He's watching me.
He's only like a half step ahead of you, and you see out of the corner of his eyes. And the return trip is much shorter.
I'm sure.
You walk, and as you turn into that residential area, we'll call it, of the hallway, there's the door.
Nice. Okay.
Good day, sir.
Oh, thank you.
And he has the door open and is just
Yeah.
staring outside, is not looking at you.
I'm sorry, they're gonna keep you waiting for like 6 hours.
We're getting there.
It is what it is.
Okay.
Is there a butler
So I'll meet you back outside, and I'm just like,
Oh, how'd it go? You man?
I had some fun. Got some answers. Yeah, I need like tea around here. Maybe some coffee.
Oh, yeah, I've got some tea. What's the hot tea or the cold tea?
The last thing Rain needs is caffeine.
Don't worry about it.
The new big
what'd you say,
5 hour
Nazi?
energy
Yeah,
but
right.
rain.
Oh, and he pulls out, and he's got like a thermos, and he unscrews the top, and he pours it, and it smells good.
Uh-huh.
It's like an herbal tea with a hint of honey.
Uh-huh.
There you are. And you take a sip,
Amazing.
and it is definitely spiked.
What would
Okay. Beautiful. Then I guess I'll just hang out there for a little while.
All right, Aldashar. You finish your art piece, and you've been in here for a while.
Yeah.
You've been in here for a good 2 hours
Sure.
at this point.
Sure.
2.5 hours.
Sure.
You look up and you realize maybe this room wasn't as big as you thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Is that wall a little closer than it was?
And knowing this building, I know it is closer. Yeah.
And you know that the door's there, even though it's not
Yeah.
visually represented at the
Yeah.
moment. But you just kind of get that like sweaty back, and you're tapping your toes. And can you make a Constitution saving throw to hold it together? As that ceiling, you don't even know if you could stand up right now. Like, it's really close. And you're a tall guy.
Yeah.
Now, what if you stood up and it hit your head? And what if it was like pushing down? So make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
10.
10. You manage to just hold it together, and the next hour is agony for you.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if someone is like actively trying to make this room appear smaller?
Yeah, absolutely.
Imagine I'm just sitting next to you, like a leg over top of my knee. I'm just like, I just met the most lovely lady named Dory.
Ooh, that's pretty good. 22.
22.
I love it.
You like
Sorry.
you start doing some box
Rain is a
breathing.
menace to society.
You start trying to get control, and you're like looking, and you realize, okay, you actually like take out like your drawing pad and put it in the corner of the room, and you're trying to like look. You do tell that there is an enchantment in the room, but you don't find any reason to think it's malevolent.
Okay.
And you do realize after a while, the room isn't getting smaller. You're still worked up, but you were able to control it. You might have a little residue of your panic attack.
What
But
I would like to do to help calm myself down is I'd like to go back and I'd like to get my pad and I'd like to do a sketch of the room that in with the proper proportions as I see them, and then like wait like 5-10 minutes and see if like those proportions are still the same.
You do this. Roll a
My art check.
yes.
Yeah.
Artiste.
It's only an 11.
11.
Yeah.
You're kind of having a little trouble with exact proportions.
I'm still having a bit of a
Yeah, but you do put yourself in that box, and you kind of like almost panic more because you now see yourself, but then you like, wait a second, and you turn the lines of the room into like maybe like a little forest starts over here, and this one's a little wavy, so maybe this is water.
Actually, what I want to do is if I'm changing the room, change it to the my old cabin within my family's ship.
and you know you can almost hear the rocking of the ocean as you're drawing this, and you try like to keep track of you do a couple rough sketches of the room, and you're pretty sure it was just you. And maybe it does slightly shift, but at one point you kind of feel like it's a little bigger than it was, so it doesn't seem. Maybe it's just the building itself, because you know that it does move and change. You hit the like 3.5 hour mark. So for you, it's now around like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Sure.
The door opens, and it is the butler. Dagon, King of Alms, can see you now.
Excellent. Thank you, butler.
Follow me, please.
Yes, sir.
And he starts walking, and as he's walking...
Is that like sound still persistent?
Yes,
Sure.
it is there. It is not as loud as it was before, but it is still around. And you get a feeling as you move, because it doesn't change tone. You have a feeling it's following you.
Yeah, right.
It's just around you.
I figured that it is following me downstairs. Yeah, I did figure that.
As he's walking, I don't mean to speak out of turn, but so you're aware, there was an incident with your comrade, the loud Khajiit, with him and one of our clerks. She has requested that he not return and ask any more questions or spill anything or act like... And he takes out a piece of paper, a complete boob.
I'm really hoping like the top corner of that piece of paper is just stained with ink.
Yes. Just to make you aware, as you are still in the presence of other Assassins Guild members and Dagon, Lord King of Arms, that we request that you and the rest of your troop act in your best behavior while on the premise or its nearby vicinity.
Please extend my humblest apologies to the clerk and to Lord Downey himself and to anyone else affected by this incident. Rain can be a bit much, I understand.
Handing over the range.
Yes, I witnessed much of the bit.
I'm very sorry for his behavior. I will make sure to behave myself in the utmost way.
Anyway, this way. So far, you've seen very ornate of Lord Downey's. The door of his office. You've seen the very plain of the room you were just waiting in. This door is old. This is old wood, heavy, and it's not stained, but time has stained it. And he goes, and this is the first time too you've seen him physically opening a door. And as he turns the handle, there's just the handle itself is rusty, and he has to kind of push the door, and it opens, and you see this cold stone, low ceiling with wooden beams and books everywhere, but these are well-thumbed old books with some books you see seem more bookmarked than book themselves.
Right. But like this is like speaking to like Aldishar.
Yes.
Like he wants to like spend time in this room, but like he knows that.
I was about to say, low ceiling. Does that affect anything?
At this point, no. It's not low. Like you don't have to duck, but it just feels low and heavy.
And intimate.
There's cobwebs.
Like you're in a basement.
You even look over and you realize it is being lit by torches. You haven't seen an open torch in forever. I mean, out in the city and like the shades where they're poor, but most of the lighting in the city has been mainly converted to magic.
I would like to, just out of sheer curiosity, just try to do make a little light with prestidigitation. Just because I'm guessing if they're using open flame in a book-filled room, it's for a reason.
Yep.
And I tried just to see if my magic works at all. A little prestidigitation.
Yeah, you go to prestidigitate some dust off the top of a book. Roll me a D100.
I just want to make it's a little spark of light. It's not anything lit, but shoop.
Yep, you go and we will
Spark of light.
hold right there with your hand
Yeah. I was
about to
in
say,
the air,
do you have
waiting
any
to see what happens with the
Yeah,
D100.
that's all.